It's fair to say that the 50 Shades trilogy has changed the landscape of publishing, as well as the attitudes of men and women towards sex throughout the entire world, and that's no mean feat. We are delighted to welcome record-breaking author E.L. James for an intimate and exclusive chat with us as she launches the official 50 Shades Pleasure Collection across the world.
Good evening everyone, I'm sorry I can't be there. Thank you so much for coming and for all your support.
So this is clearly the first time your feet have actually touched the ground this year?
No, my feet still haven't touched the ground. They haven't touched the ground since January. In fact, since December, when I got the first email about the film rights, and then everything that's followed from there has just been a complete and utter roller coaster.
So how would you actually sum up 2012?
I'd sum it up as exhausting, I think, thrilling, exciting, terrifying. I have now a very impressive number of air miles on each of my various cards. It's been extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary.
What was your motivation? What actually made you sit down at the computer and I'm going to do this, or did it just? I don't know, something about just reading the Twilight books just flipped this kind of switch, and I wanted to write after that. And when I finally got to 50, I had read a couple of, I'd always loved romantic stories. I love a good romance. Years ago there was the Lash&Lace books, and before that there's a woman called Pat Khalifa who writes very interesting lesbian BDSM that I'd read years and years ago. And anyway, I thought about that, and I had read a few other bits on BDSM, and I just thought, well, what would it be like if you met somebody who was in this lifestyle and you knew nothing about it? And that's kind of where the idea started. So it's quite an exploratory thing.
Yeah,
really.
Very much so. I mean, I don't write with an outline or anything. I just went for it, and as you know, as the chapters came together, I got to know the characters more and more and more and more and more. And basically it's sort of my fantasy, which I never expected to share with millions of people around the world.
But perhaps that's why it sold so well, because it was so real and it was natural, because it was an exploration that you were going on, and therefore you're taking your readers on the same
I think so, and that's, you know, it's written in the first person present from the heroine's point of view, so you just unravel this man with her, and he's, I mean, it's a fantasy, really, an erotic fantasy. He's incredibly talented in and out of the bedroom. He's, you know, very successful. He leads this extraordinary life, and it's nice to escape into that, I think.
But it's, at its heart, it's a true romance.
It's a love story, yes, with a kink. I like to think of it.
And why do you think so many people of so many different generations have made a connection with the book?
I think it's down to the love story. I mean, there's lots of erotica out there. There's lots of love stories out there. I mean, I don't know why this particular one has drawn people to it. I think it's because at its heart it's an erotic love story, and I think women generally like to read about sex, but they don't like slang words, and you know, it's sort of coyly and tastefully written, I think. So I think that's why people from all generations are reading it.
I'd like to talk about your official collection,
yes,
which is now launching. It's very exciting.
It's been a joy seeing the collection come together. I think the designers have worked some miracles here, and they look wonderful. They're beautifully made. They're elegant, classy.
What might you suggest to people would be the first thing to perhaps try out from the collection?
Well, I would start certainly with the silk wrist tie, and maybe the blindfold, and maybe something as exciting as this. This is very lovely, trailed across the skin and what have you. So those are the sort of things from the collection I would start with if you've not done anything before.
And was it really exciting to see the final products and the packaging and the colours and everything?
Very much so.
Which were the sex toys that gave Anna the most pleasure in the books?
I think Anna's very much a fan of the silver balls.
very much so, and maybe the flogger as well. I mean, Anna, bless her cotton socks, she's up for trying things, and it's fortunate she's with someone who really knows what to do with them. So.
And what about Christian? Which one do you think? If Christian was to go to a shop, which would be his...
I think he'd go immediately for the riding crop, definitely.
What would you say are your favourite products?
Oh, it's difficult to pick one or two. I very much like the nipple clamps. I think they're gorgeous. I like balls, which feature hugely, as it were, in the books. The crop is really lovely and simple and elegant, and hopefully easy and fun to use as well.
The official collection is going to be available in all the shops in time for Christmas. So what do you think Father Christmas would actually make of his most popular deliveries this year?
I think you have to get a reinforced sleigh for all of the silver balls, because they're quite heavy. Very good for your key jaw muscles, ladies. Very good.
So what is going to be next for E.L. James?
Well, we are in the process of putting a film together. So that's very, very exciting. I'm off to Los Angeles at the end of beginning of next month to meet with the scriptwriter. So that's going to be fun. And after that, I'd like to write another novel, maybe.
And are you going to be heavily involved in the production of the film?
Hopefully, yes. Yes.
And when? Any idea when that might be coming to fruition?
No.
Who would be your ideal casting for Anna and Christian? The million-dollar question.
Yes, which I am still not going to answer.
Good for you. Everyone seems to be desperate to know if there's going to be any more books in this particular series. Now, you said you're going to write another book. Is there ever going to be a continuation?
I think so. Well, everywhere I go, everyone seems to want Christian's point of view. So I've been thinking quite seriously about that. And we'll see what we'll see.
Do you think that might be challenging to write it from his point of view when you clearly know both the characters really well, and you've written it from Anna being a female? How could that cross over to write it from Christian's point of view?
It's fascinating. It is fascinating. I wrote a couple of chapters, and they're in the back of Freed from his eye. He's a very interesting headspace to be in.
So that would be quite a challenge.
It will be a challenge, but it's also. I mean, people ask me, are you more like Christian or Anna? And I'm actually like both of them. So I'll explore that bossy side of me, control freak side of me.
Is there any message you would like to take this opportunity to give your millions of fans around the globe and the people who are going to stock your products, and anything you'd like to say to people?
I'd say thank you very much for buying the books, and I hope you enjoy the books, and I really hope that you enjoy these beautiful products as well.
Thank you so much for all your time today. I'm sure this official pleasure range is going to be another fantastic success story for you and the 50 Shades brand. I also think, thanks to you, this Christmas could be one of the merriest many couples have had in a long time.
I do hope so. Thank you so much for coming. I do hope you enjoy the collection and have as much fun with it as we did designing it.